Hi guys, welcome back. I'm so excited that you guys are here with me today. I am Miss Martinez and we are on a top secret mission and we are going to be tourists in India. So I have a disclaimer, I am not currently in my usual filming site. I'm so sorry about that. This is the best I can do for lighting, so you're just gonna have to ignore if it's a little bit distracting. It could be, could not be. I think the lighting looks fine right now, but if it is a little bit distracting, I'm sorry, just ignore it. This is the best I can do right now. So anyways, moving forward, I'm Miss Martinez, and today we have a couple expectations. We are going to just be reading about India. I hope that you pause the video and go run and grab a paper and some pencils or pens or whatever you have around you that you can write with. And we are going to be writing notes about India, and in the end I'm going to have you guys either write a paragraph, do a presentation on India, do a picture with some captions, anything that you feel is best to represent what you learned today about India. You can even write a song. And yeah, so welcome to India. Our mission today is to tour and learn all about India today. Make sure that you write all these important facts down, like I said, and you have a bunch of options, the presentation, a speech, a paragraph, a poster, a drawing, or a PowerPoint of what you learned. And make sure to do this, present it to someone that is around you, either it's a sibling, a friend, a guardian, whoever is around you. So let's get going. So before we start, here's some facts that you guys can write down. First off, this is India right here. It has a population of 913,070,000 people, and its highest mountain is Kanchenjunga, and the official language is Hindi. All right. So welcome to India. What I did is made some slideshows that you can have facts from while I read the book. Each slideshow is going to have some facts from that specific 2 pages that I'm reading, so that way if I'm going too fast, you can write these down. So welcome to India. So India at a glance is 1,269,346 square miles. The capital is New Delhi. And the population of Old Delhi is 8,370,500 total. So some big cities are Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, and Hyderabad. And the largest lake, well, there actually is no large natural lake in India. So I'm going to do my best to show you some pictures. That is some money in the corner. Some postal stamps, and there's India. So this is the page, Welcome to India, and the facts that are broken down from this are right there. Again, pause the video if you want to write these down. So welcome to India. The Republic of India is one of the world's largest countries. It covers most of the central region of southern Asia. India is closed in on the north by the world's tallest mountain range, the Himalayas. On its other side, it's surrounded by the Indian Ocean. India's landscapes include mountains, deserts, thick jungles, and wide plains. Great rivers flow southward from the Himalayas, and there's good farmland in the river valleys. Most of India is a hot climate. There is a long, dry season. Then the rains are blown in from the oceans by the monsoon winds. 1 out of every 6 people in the world lives in India. That's how big the population is. So, of the world's nations, only China has more people compared to India. India's people belong to different races, speak different languages, and have many different religions. Many Indians live in villages. The countryside, nearly everyone farms there and grows their own food. Millions crowd the big cities such as Delhi, Calcutta, and Bombay. These cities are centers for businesses and industry, but even on busy city streets, the cars and trucks jostle for space with walkers, bicyclists, and wandering cows. So imagine just walking down the street and there's a cow nearby you. That's what it's like in some cities in India. India is thousands of years old. There are major religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, and they all began in India. Empires have risen and fallen here. Travelers from all over the world marvel at the wonders of India, and it includes ancient artworks and temples, wonderful scenery, and rich wildlife. Tigers, elephants, and one-horned rhinoceroses live here, as well as many other types of birds, snakes, and reptiles and insects. Tourists visiting India today can enjoy all these sights and sound. So right here is a picture of women harvesting. This is just a big city at the bottom, and this is sheep being herded. So pause this video if you want to write down any facts that are written on this slideshow right here. And we are going to move to the next slide. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, moving to the next slide. So all about Delhi, it's city of government. So this is the next page that we're going to be reading. Here are all the facts that are going to be listed in the story that I'm reading. So the city of Delhi is the capital of India. Delhi lies on the west bank of Yamuna River. There are actually 2 cities of Delhi. Old Delhi is more than 500 years old. It has a busy industrial section, but also many old, narrow streets. More than 8 million people live in Delhi. New Delhi is very different, though. So there's an old and a new. And the new one, British planners designed the city in the early 1900s. One of the buildings designed by the British is now the home of President of India. A large circular building contains the 2 houses of Indian Parliament. If you ask directions in Delhi, people will be friendly and may answer in English. Hindi is India's official language, but many people understand and speak English there. People come to Delhi to visit the museums and walk the Raj Path. Raj Path is Rajpath. Along this avenue, the big event is the Republic Day Parade on January 26th. It includes cultural pageants from each of India's states. Delhi also has a fine zoo famous for its rare white tigers. That's a cool fact that you can add in there. South of New Delhi, people climb the Qutar Minar, which is a tall red tower built in the 1200s. So Qutar Minar, Qutab, and then Minar, Minar. It's a tall red building built in the 1200s, if you want to write that down as a fact. And there are 376 steps to get to the top. After sightseeing, rest in the nearby park and admire the brilliantly covered peacocks. The peacock is India's national bird, which is pretty cool. Just like we have the eagle, India has a peacock. In the park, you may also see boys hitting small balls with wooden bats in dusty playgrounds. They are playing cricket, India's most popular sport. Indian food has many flavors. In the restaurants of Delhi, diners enjoy spicy curries, vegetables, lentils, tasty kebabs, and dishes of chicken. And they're all slowly roasted in a clay oven called a tandoor. So I'm going to go over the facts because that was a lot on that one page. So Delhi is the capital of India. There are actually 2 cities of Delhi. There's old and new. And the new Delhi, it's designed by the British and it was made in the 1900s. And typically everyone there speaks English on top of the national language of Hindi. Old Delhi is more than 500 years old. And that's the one with the narrow streets and busy industrial section. More than 8 million people live in both new and old Delhi. So India's most popular sport is actually cricket, and it's played with a bat and a ball, and it involves 2 competing sides of teams of 11 players. And the foods that are made in clay ovens called tandoors with spicy curries, vegetables, lentils, tasty kebabs, and chicken dishes. And I highly recommend you trying them if you can, or researching about them because they have a bunch of different spices, and I actually love curry. I've had that quite often. So it's a pretty interesting part about India. So if you feel like you're falling behind, pause the video, and look at the facts and write them down, because remember, we are writing a paper or doing some presentation on this. And we are going a lot faster than we did last time, so there might not be PowerPoints, which is okay, but for the rest of this, but we will go through and continue reading. So, Delhi, we're moving forward. Mountains and temples, that is the next section. Before I move to the next section, here are the pictures of that page. There's Delhi right here. There is, so that red building is the Jama Masjid Mosque in Delhi. And this is a statue of Gandhi. And I hope that you guys can see that. All right, moving forward to mountains and temples in India. So, the Yamuna River that flows past Delhi begins in the Himalayan mountains. These are the highest mountains in the world. India shares them with its neighbors China, Bhutan, Pakistan, and Nepal. The Himalayas spread through 5 Indian states, and many others also have hilly areas. Below the peaks, the mountain slopes are cool and green with trees. In spring, the valleys are bright with colorful flowers and shrubs. Many Himalayan plants were brought to America and Europe in the 1800s and planted in gardens. Mountains, rivers, gorges, forests, and valleys offer scenic views. The Valley of Kashmir is a valley so beautiful that the Mughal empires called it paradise. The air is sweet, with the smell of roses. Hindu pilgrims walk for 5 days from the tourist center of Pahalgam to Amarnath Cave, a shrine to the god of Shiva. There are many other holy shrines and temples in the valley where people go in large numbers. Darjeeling and Nainital are beautiful hill cities. When Britain ruled India, its officials set up a summer capital in the hill city of Simla, and were glad to get away from the heat and dust of the plains around Delhi. A railroad built then still winds its way through the foothills. The state capital of Jammu and Kashmir are cities in the Himalayan mountains. Winter can be very cold here. People wear thick clothes, and underneath they carry clay pots filled with hot coals to keep themselves warm. Around Srinagar's farmers grow rice in terraced fields on the hillsides. There are orchards full of apples, cherries, walnuts, and almonds. The fine wool, cashmere, comes from goats that live in high mountains. All right. So right here, we have Simla. Next to it is a statue of Buddha. Right here. And then this last part is just a girl in traditional clothing walking to Kashmir. So it looks like we're a lot faster paced than we were last time. So I'm going to keep reading. Keep your ears open and be writing some notes down, because I do not have PowerPoints for these, which is okay because we're ahead of schedule, so we're doing good. So now we are going to move to dancers, tanks, and forts. So have your notes ready and be prepared to listen to this section. So the small state of Kerala on India's southwest coast is famous for the dance drama Kathakali. Kathakali is spelled Kathakali. It's where musicians play drums and dancers wear large skirts and heavy makeup, and they leap out into the temple courtyard. Only men dance the lead roles in these type of dances, and they tell about stories from the Hindu scriptures. So the Kathakali, Kathakali, typically have men dance the lead roles, and what they are is the Hindu scriptures. That's something important that you can write down. Many of the people who live in the southernmost part of India have their own languages. They claim to be descendants of Dravidians who came from central Russia from 3,000 years ago. Farmers collect rainwater from large tanks. The village tank is a good place for people to meet. They also bathe here, but watch out for a snake coming to cool off. It could be a king cobra, and it's the world's largest poisonous animal. So those can be found in India, a king cobra. And Madras is the fourth largest of India's cities. Madras, Madras. It's the fourth largest of Indian cities. The people here speak Tamil, so Tamil in Madras, that's the language. Women typically wear colorful clothing, and they are brightly dyed traditional saris, so Saris. Madras was one of the first British bases in India, which is pretty cool, guys. Okay. So let's talk about Indian village life. In the city of India, it's a vast flat plateau. It's known as, or as the center of India, it's known as Deccan, Deccan. On either side are their mountains, and it's called the Ghats, Ghats. So what's important about Deccan, Deccan? Well, it's the region for mining, forestry, and farming. And here, most people live in their small towns or villages, and they go out to the fields to work every single day. Some homes are simple houses made of dried mud and straw. But richer families do make their homes from brick. So you can even put the differences that some live in dried mud and straw homes, and some live in brick homes, which is something pretty interesting. So at night, many people use lamps to light their house. Although more and more villages now have electricity, some still use lamps. Also, in villages, very few have running water. Also, here, they have elephants working, and you can also take a ride on an elephant. So that's a working elephant, and you can also ride on it in India. So in these villages, most people work on farms, and their houses, they choose to have very little furniture and few pots for cooking. Some villages have TV sets. People gather to watch programs by satellite. School is held in the open air or in one classroom. And the village has its own council of adults who make the rules for everyone there. In India, people greet visitors politely. They say namaste. Okay, so how they greet people is namaste. It's spelled N-A-M-A-S-T-E-Y. So they say namaste, and then they bow slightly with their hands folded together in front of them. So they fold it together, and then they bow, and they say namaste, and that's a way of showing politeness. Sometimes men shake hands, but women usually do not. People willingly share food with travelers, and it's okay to eat with your fingers, but it has to be with your right hand, which is a cool fact. I hope you guys are writing this down. Few villages have a post office, and to take a trip to town, they have to take a bus, and that's the only form of transportation in country districts. Bicycles and some motor scooters are pretty common as well. So it looks like we are running out of time. I hope that you learned all about India and our secret top secret mission as tourists. What your mission again is, you have your facts. If not, pause the video, make sure you write down some more facts, and either do a speech, a presentation, a paragraph, a story, a song, all about what you learned today about India. It's a very beautiful country built with so much beautiful languages, and their food is amazing. I highly recommend researching more about different cultures and different countries, so that way you know more. The more you know, the better. And that is all for today's lesson, and go out and do your paragraph or presentation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys another time. Goodbye.